I would just kind of leave. I don't know why. Ba. Yeah, but eventually, like, what ends up happening is like, whoa. I got, wait. Wait, did my stream just start on YouTube? Wait, I've been live for an hour and I think I didn't fully set up my stream. Dude, I thought my stream was live, or what did I come back to? Oh, I was talking about as a kid when I had to be put on a leash because I would... Don't interrupt me! I had to be put on a leash because I would, like, run around every there. Oops, sorry, YouTube movers. We're working on animations. Apologies. I swear I'm not that stupid. Oh my god, laugh at this Cupid. Don't laugh at me. I'm not that stupid. I gave a second chance to Cupid. Oh my god, I didn't mean to. I'm sorry, YouTube boomers. I didn't mean to. Hi from YouTube. Hello, Starlight. Hi, guys. I thought it was live. I thought it was live this entire time. I'm so sorry. I genuinely thought it was live this entire time. I thought it was live this entire time. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Oh my god. Hi. Lol. A4 neglect letter. Yeah, I'm neglecting. Yeah, I'm neglecting my YouTube boomers. I'm sorry. I thought it was live, and then I checked back on my YouTube like thing, and I was like, damn, like, are my shit cooked? And then it sees you're live, and it's been like 20 seconds. Oh, that hurts. Oh, that hurts. That hurts. That hurts. That hurts. Oh, that hurts. I swear. I swear I didn't forget. I'm just really stupid. I am just really stupid. I apologize. But yeah, how are you today? Look a bit. But yeah, I feel like I've learned a lot since then as a kid, because I feel like obviously I don't run away from my parents as much anymore, because I feel like I learned I would like low-key die if I did. Actually, I have a vivid memory when I was a kid. Hey, this is your like daily like birth control reminder, low-key, if you have to take birth control, because I was low-key a nightmare kid only because I was really stupid. I remember this one time when I was really young, I went to Mexico with my parents because, you know, I'm Mexican. And so what ends up happening is that I remember specifically as a kid, I saw a big McDonald's sign. We're like, let's go to McDonald's, Aishindo. I'm like, okay. And so there's a busy road. And so my kid brain is like, oh, McDonald's, I know what that is. That's just like the one at home. And so busy road, mind you, busy road, busy ass road, busy ass fucking road with shit ton of cars, right? And this is the fucking highway and shit, right? Busy road with the McDonald's, right? My baby ass holding on to my mom's arm. I try and let go, and I'm like, I want to go to McDonald's. I want to go to McDonald's. And my mom had to fucking yank me all the way back, and she's like, don't ever run into the road like that. I just fucking shit, man. I forgot my birth control. Same, dude. I vividly remember my mom getting really upset at me. Also, the time that I almost drowned like twice as a kid too, where there was a big ass pool, and I was like, I love the water. I love it. I love the water. And then I jumped in and I couldn't swim. I didn't know how to swim, so I just jumped in. I was like, and my mom had to jump in and save me. My mom had to jump in after me and save me. And you know what my dumbass does? I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, the pool! I love the pool! Then I jump in again. My mom had to take me back to the hotel room. How could I forget about us? I didn't forget about you. I thought I was live this entire time. I thought I was live this entire time. If you guys ever see me, like, I'm not here for stream on time, just literally type in chat, like, on YouTube, be like, where are you, I? W mama I, this is your... Because I'm fucking stupid! I was fucking stupid! Dude, I feel like I'm low-key just dumb. Survival instincts of a fucking baby. I cannot focus, I'm so sorry. I can't focus. Yeah, I would have put him on a child leash too at that point. Yeah, I think I was. I think I already was. But yeah, I'm really dumb. I think that's basically like the lesson a lot of people need to learn. Can I copy paste my question just checking so I don't get flagged for spam? I can just answer it. It's pulled up. I have it. I answered it actually earlier. But yeah, lest you know that like it isn't just a me thing. A lot of kids are really dumb. Like whenever I think about kids doing stupid shit online, that's kind of why I don't like when people record their kids doing stupid things like that are kind of mean spirited. Mostly because I feel like it's not really nice. It's not a really nice way to do things like that. I feel like it's not appropriate. But yeah, you could tell me. Basically if I thought I was gone, no, you're good. Hell no! Challenge Rudy babysit little eyeshadow. I'm gonna eat the fork and stick it in the plug. You know, we'd have a heart attack. Yeah. Why wouldn't you? Why would you not want to see me? What the freak? I feel like you would love to babysit me. But yeah, art advice time. Yay. Feel free to ask the art advice, guys. Oh my god. I had other issues, but luckily it's quiet, not too much like that kid. Man, fuck you. Oh my god, that's mean. That's mean. You're mean. You're rude. You're rude to me. But yeah, how to learn new expressions when I draw my OC. She's always a bit too stone-faced, which is fine in many of the poses I draw, but I feel limited when trying to make her more upbeat. Ooh, that's kind of real. But yeah, well, my nephew's not very different. Yeah, dude, just put him on the fucking like baby harness. But like basically, when it comes to like emotions, the best thing I can really say is that you got to go back to the roots of ye old digital art, which is those little like emotion charts where it's like this one cartoon style where it's like whoa, and it's like split up into graphs like this, where it's like A, B, 1, 2, and you're like, I want A1, and you draw that one. Basically, the reason why I say this is it will help you a shit ton. Basically, you just need to, in all honesty, when you're making emotions, you need to push 3 things. It's your brows and your eyes and your mouth, right? Obviously, your facial features, and how you push them kind of depends on what you're going for. But it's very particular on each individual, like, it's very particular on each individual emotion. So what I would say is like, just do a shit ton of those like posts where it's like, draw your OC being sad with this specific look, and they always have like one specific like art style, so you can just try and mold that as much as you can into yours. And in all honesty, it's a lot easier to do that. Also, look at like more older anime. Look at older anime. I'd say like 2000s to early 2000s is probably the best, because those anime like still had like your very like simplistic eyes, or not simplistic, but they had your more like, I guess, quote unquote, beginnings of modern anime eyes. But what ends up happening is that they still have remnants of the 90s, so they're able to push like their emotions way more, and they're not as shy to do so. I feel like a lot of newer anime really struggle with making expressions really nice. I think like modern examples of people that I really like, I think Witch Watch honestly is really good at it. Witch Watch is really nice at like a more like classic like anime like art style that pushes emotions a bit. And then Nichijo's really good. Nichijo's really good for like more cartoonishly like outlandish. And then Gachiakuta for more alternative art styles is also really good. I know I'm naming mostly anime artists, but those are like ones from the top of my head that are really good. Oh, Soul Eater as well. That's really good. I got Enter BBL. Yeah, my BBL is so big, guys. My awesome, I don't know, I couldn't come up with a good acronym. I think emotions are also pretty hard for me. I'll be real. I think emotions are really hard for me because I try and do like a moe art style, but like a lot of the times it can fall flat because I kind of limit myself in that. Correct me on this if I'm wrong. Brows move the upper part of your face. Mouth makes skin and cheeks move, and the eyes as well eyes. They're basically almost the center of our face and the center of focus. Yeah. So I think you just need to learn how to manipulate those. You gotta start gaslight gatekeep girl boss, man. You gotta start manipulating them a lot more. Don't be afraid to move stuff. Don't be afraid to give your characters wrinkles when they're emoting as well. I'd say like simplifying, honestly, simplification is like probably your best friend if you want to have more extreme emotions. Here, I'll use this Miku for example, We can draw Miku a bit. I know I wanted to animate today, but I don't think I can do that because I just really like designing. This is my Miku design that I'm working on, okay? But like, we can take this Miku. I really want her to be like kind of stupid, low-key. I want her to be low-key an idiot. I like when people draw Miku like really stupid. But like when people draw like emotions, especially me, I kind of have a hard time like really nailing down like a variety of emotions that I want in my drawings. So the best way to do that for me, honestly, is just like sketching styles and simplifying my eye shape. So it's like I like adding this kind of like wrinkle to the mouth, and it's just a more or less like kind of just pushing what you can and making more shapes extreme. It's like I want her to look like an idiot. So we're gonna make her like eyes kind of move. Her eyes like generally just go like really open. This is just gonna be like that, I guess, with her eyelids going up, and she's gonna go like maybe just like she's just really blank, vacant stare. If you want to hammer it down, I kind of like suggest making her smile. I like making one of my friends, Urchin, is really good at like doing really good like eye styles, but sometimes low-key I like it when stupid characters have their mouth like going like this. She's like, I don't know. I like it when characters do shit like this. She's like, I like it when characters kind of move that, and don't be afraid to move your body parts accordingly either. This is how I would probably draw her. Also, hi Tomoneko, how are you? This is what my Miku would do. She'd probably like look like this straight at the camera. Oh my god. Like if she was a nerd Bob, no real. My god, Rinse of Kaminari from Emma J. Yeah, dude, a lot of like newer like anime artists are really good to reference from. This is what's her name? Parlor Night Miku. She's like ice cream parlor themed, and she's really stupid. I really like making characters look very full. I like my designs to look kind of full and like kind of like reminiscent of like kind of reminiscent. I wanted to animate so bad today, but I don't think I can. I want to cow. Hi Dingo, what's up? Hi Dingo. Hi Dingo. I'm gonna draw her like this. I want her thing to be up like that, and then we can draw like this. My god, I'm in the middle of drawing a Western cowboy pose with like OC, who is an anglerfish humanoid character. I appreciate the art advice. I'm flying it right now. Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Where's the cowbell? Give me in a minute! In a minute! Moo moo! Also just finished animating. It's okay. Well, we can stop animating together. Lol, even though that's the whole point of the stream. It's okay. I'm sorry, movers. I wish I could animate right now. But I'm low-key like evil like that. I low-key am clickbaiting you. How do you feel about being clickbaited right now? My god. How are you? Welcome in Games a Lotto. Wait, that's such a cute name. I kind of rock with that. That's a cool name. How are you? Yeah, animating's kind of tough at the moment. I'll be real. Oh my god, I was drawing an anglerfish girl earlier today. Hell yeah! Dude, I feel like when opinion on Bradley from Deltarune. I like him. He's a little bit of a nerd. However, I've not played Deltarune yet. I was thinking about doing that on stream, low-key. Do you guys want to play Deltarune on stream? Do you guys want to play Deltarune on stream? We can talk about art stuff in the middle of it. Guys, feel free to... even if... By the way, guys, if I'm doing a game stream or anything like that, you can still ask anything art-related. Because, what if it's still on brand, lol? I'd microwave him. Did you eat a lot, Chindo? Yeah, I did, actually. I ate so much fucking food. I ate so much fucking food this holiday season, bro. It's kind of crazy. I can't help themselves. I'll just put Deltarune mods into Minecraft. LOL, dude, listen. I love Minecraft. It's fun. It's fun. It's fun. It's fun. It's fun. It's fun. This would not make sense with her body. I like when anime characters are kind of like moving like this. It's interesting in my brain. I just want this Miku to his. I'd microwave his tummy so fucking big he'd roll down a hill gently pushed. Yeah. Movie guy. I love, dude. Oh my god. I want to make a rolling girl cover one day. Every time I think about rolling girl, I think about the Madoka one I saw when I was younger and that I really fell in love with. I love that one. Pudgy eye drawing when you have A5 love letter. You have A5 love letter. Stop being greedy. You have A5 love letter. You have A5 love letter. You can eat him then. But yeah, I ate so much chocolate and bought so much vinyls on Christmas. So good. Yes, vinyls. Yes. Dude, Luffy rubbing his belly animation with eye. Wait, low-key, you're onto something. At almost 100k, I could get 4 free doodles, bro. What do you want? You want to just draw stream assets for you? You can just ask me to do that. A5 love letter is a WD50 of R. Lol. A5 love letter is my my secretary who will attend conventions for me when I vend eventually. I mean when I vend, yeah. Yeah, now I look at it, I could have had 100k right now. Fake. Oh my god, this eye's so good. I could die. Wow. Yeah, my name is I, by the way, for any of you who are confused. My name is Aishindo. Welcome in. Your local keep it for hire and dairy cow. I don't call myself I on like any tech stuff, unfortunately, because AI is evil and I refuse to give any search insight to that. Lol. I hate AI. Guys, I tell you right now, I will not stand for any kind of AI usage ever. Especially generative ones. I feel like AI usage could be justified if it like 1 wasn't actively stealing and committing theft, and 2 if it wasn't like you know, like actually like being like, guys, it's what's that one lady where she's like, it's like, what's 2 plus 2? Hold on, give me a second. Fuck, that's good. 7. Like that's how it feels using AI in any capacity, man. That's kind of how it feels. Because I'm like, dude, we cannot be, dude, we're killing our planet so quickly for what? Really shitty, really shitty. And then people are using it for therapy and I'm really sad. I know people are struggling, please. I've seen that video. It's so funny. That video is so good. That video is so good. Most people, it's okay. It's just Gen AI. The thing is like a lot of AI just genuinely like the power usage does not, it just doesn't work with me unless it's hosted locally. That's why I like Neurosama, because like Vito's able to host it locally, so it doesn't use like nearly like enough power and shit to warrant like what like fucking everything. She just oh my god. Excuse me. My bad. You know, let me sip the horns. I would have 100k right now. Truth nuke. Can we call you just because it's 4 A's? Wait, low-key fire. Yeah, welcome. So it's pretty good how many deaths A has directly caused. It's okay though, because Aishinda will cause so many births because hashtag mpreg, bro. Hashtag mpreg. Trust. I will get pregnant right now. Trust. Hi guys. I like yaoi. I feel bad for any new moomers who don't know that I like yaoi or who don't like yaoi. People, I know people consider like yaoi like fetishization of gay men, and I'll be real, that's low-key what I do anyway. Or not gay men, it's just men, and low-key I do that anyway, so it's fine. Will pregnancy into existence? Exactly. That's kind of the whole point of it all, low-key. Yeah, see, they agree. I like drawing interesting silhouettes. It's fun. Blah blah blah. Proof? Low, yo, real shit though. I do. We have exclamation point yaoi dogs. Yeah. If you hear dogs, you're madly in love with me. If you hear dogs, you're madly in love with me. And there's and that's on you. Lol. Every time I draw this Miku, I think about like how it kind of looks like what is it called? It kind of looks like Cricketune from Pokemon. Oh my god. Oh my god, 2 consenting adults? I consent angry to a person. I don't. Is there someone you forgot to ask? Oh, welcome. Hi, Mango. Oh, okay. Anyways, hi. Hi, how are you? Welcome in. Yeah, I love yaoi discourse. I'll be so fucking real. Yaoi discourse is really fucking funny to me. I love it because I don't know, guys, I just be gaming. They tell me to touch grass and I tell them I am. I'm touching my bush right now. I hope my friend knows I stole that joke. But yeah, my hand hurts from animating. Yo, everyone's animating. That's awesome. I'm getting FOMO from my own stream. What the fuck? Oh my god. Yeah, it can be fetishization of gay men. It's just not innately that. No, it low-key is. The thing is like, the thing is about yaoi, and here's the thing. I feel like a lot of people, when they think about yaoi, they think about yaoi doujin, and they conflate it with yaoi genre, aka like what's like mainstream at the moment. Not mainstream, but like what a lot of authors are doing for like a story beat, right? And the thing is like they think that all yaoi is mostly smut, and like if I'm going to look at smut for representation, I have a lot of things that I need to get through my head. That's the thing. I'm not looking towards the smut I read as representation for people like me. That's the issue that I feel like a lot of like non-fujos think about yaoi. Because if I want a beautiful story, I'll watch dokyusei and I'll read dokyusei because it's a very nice message. I'll watch Stranger by the Shore about like closeted stuff. But like yaoi itself as like a genre, like of course will be there. But I don't know why people take it as like immediate fetishization. It's so weird. Law, yeah, itself is just romance between two guys. You're gonna say romance in general is fetishization of straight people? Truth, Noog. I'm all over right now. Here's the thing. True. Did you see that someone would be all 7 FNAF games at the same? What the fuck? Wait, that's kind of crazy. Wait, that's kind of crazy, bro. Also, thank you for claiming your moomer macrons. For any Twitch moomers, you can claim your moomer macrons, and like that's really cool, and you should do that. Sorry, this is how I like low-key, this is like how I kind of sketch character ideas that I want to do. Because I feel like character ideas like in the simple style are cool. But yeah, I feel like a lot of people who are kind of anti-fujo just kind of forget that like yaoi exists as like a medium as well. I have 0 macarons. Why? I have 0. Pat. Thank you. I don't know. I don't get heated when it comes to yaoi discussion, but I genuinely do feel like a lot of people are looking at yaoi the wrong way if they're looking for genuine representation in like a lot of smut. Except I will say a lot of like the one thing I do not like is a lot of like weird specific fetishes that but at the same time that's like also a thing where it's like I don't go here. It's the more just like, I don't go here, so I avoid it. And that's the one thing I don't really care about. If I don't care about it, don't fucking show stuff to me that I don't like. And then I will respect you for that. And that's basically everyone, bro. That's basically everyone. So it's like, whatever. Yeah, I call them macaroons because is it presents macarons? No, it's pronounced macarons. Macaroons and macarons are two different things. Macaroons are a coconut cookie like this with like chocolate on the top. That's a macaroon. That's a specific cookie. A macaron, I don't know how to say it. Macaron is the cookie sandwich where it's like they have like the little feet and they're shaped like this. Or that's a bad one. I know how to actually draw them. What the fuck am I doing? Yeah, I always, every time I join, you're having the most unhinged conversation. It's because I like talking about yaoi and magical girls. Because I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like when people conflate like smut with like the incorrect like form of yaoi, it makes me really upset because I'm just like, bro, please, it's not this hard. I do hate that it's kind of hard to find gay romance that doesn't feel super creepy, predatory, or obviously written by women for women. Okay, here's my thing. This is my hot take on that genre. Can I be real? I feel like those kinds of yaois low-key need to exist. One, don't silence any kind of queer art. But 2, I feel like that needs to exist. Because here's the thing. There's this thing that I don't really like. Low-key, dude, woke Shindo. But there's this thing that kind of bugs me where a lot of like gay guys will kind of be really fucking rude to women. And they won't really understand a lot of the things. Sorry, I'm going to sound like I'm going to be like, women's literature. But like dead ass. Because the thing is like those need to be real. Those need to happen and those need to be in existence to be criticized because a lot of gay men are really misogynistic for some fucking reason. And so I feel like if we have more content around that, it can really bring attention to that because it's a double standard that they hold. Because a lot of the things that happen in yaoi, especially ones that are more predatory, happen a lot to women every single fucking day. And I feel like the more kind of like people that are kind of bringing attention to it in general is a lot better. I don't like when they romanticize it. But like in an actual like full sense of romanticizing it, I feel like that's a little bit weird and we should probably check that out. But I feel like in a lot of like stuff, like it felt like what killing stalking was supposed to be, and then people just started like low-key like romanticizing it. Because killing stalking's not fucking yaoi. Killing stalking was never supposed to be yaoi. I'm so sorry. It was never supposed to be yaoi. Never. I don't consider it yaoi. I consider it psychological horror, and there happens to be queer characters in there. That's in my brain. Not every yaoi will have queer characters. Not every queer character driven story will be yaoi. That's what I think. Killing Stalking is horror. Exactly. Killing Stalking's horror. Killing Stalking's horror. It just happens to have a queer character or two in it, and that's okay. It's two separate pieces of media, but I hate when an audience base quickly switches up around it. That's why I feel like it's okay to have these conversations about what is predatory within yaoi, because it's every fucking medium. It's in every single kind of medium that exists. You have to have these conversations in order to talk about them more comfortably, because you cannot be. I love a lot of people wanting to be a lot more open and honest about their feelings about media and what they feel is very really weird and perpetuated in media. However, I don't like it when people automatically feel whenever they get uncomfortable by a piece of media, that is automatically deemed that it's automatically deemed as something that is not worth it. That's this one thing I have with people who immediately dismiss porn artists or NSFW artists. Can I just get some gay representation where they're treated as normal guys though? That's where it's very important. Yeah. No, that exists. That's the thing, Borfus. It exists. It's just not in a big format. Unfortunately, this is the time where you gotta make your own. That's the thing. That's the thing that's unfortunate, but at the same time, because a lot of media like this is very new to the public eye, this is where you start making your own. And that's not if you don't like it, make your own. But it's standing this is where it's the time to make your own. It's the time to make your own and get your stuff out there. I'm not saying the thing I have, one message I have for a lot of creatives out there is that if there is something that is lacking, it's just harder to find, and I am making my own. Hell yeah. Well, it's just at a decline right now. Right now, there is a rapid decline, or there is not a lot of presence for specific queer characters or specific kinds of characters right now. If you feel that there is not much of there's a big hole in what you're looking for, I'll be real. You can either view it as one or two things. Yeah, it's well, not one or two. It's both. Things can be nuanced, right? But it's it can be really sucky because you want to find stories that are about like you, or that are representative of you in some way. But that is the time, Loki crazy, but Loki, this is the time where you make your own. This is where you make your own stuff and you put it out there, because you can view it as, yes, there is not much about you as a person out there, but there is a hole in the market for you to get that stuff out there and for your stuff to be at the forefront of it. I keep making guy friends characters and they end up together, but they're so healthy. But they're healthy, well, make more out about it. That's generally where it's the make your art, make more art, make more art. Everybody's a hobby. Fully written fanfic once, though, at a VTuber's request. These are tomatoes because I agree with you. Thank you, Gloiper. The boar fanfic is real truth nuke. Maybe I'll make a boar fanfic because I want more boar fanfic in the world. But yeah, this is the time where you make your own stuff, guys. You can view it as man, there's not enough stuff about me out there, and obviously you're gonna have a hard time hitting an audience, mostly because that audience may not exist as much, because a lot of stories are not picked up as much because of the kind of audiences they want to attract. But the same token, that's why you create in your spare time, and that's why you create as much as you can, because eventually you'll hit something, or eventually you'll find more people that are like-minded. And that's what I appreciate about yaoi. That's what I appreciate about yaoi, because I'm not saying all guy fujos are the same, because a lot of them, low-key, I'm sorry, I love you guys, you gotta have bigger standards. Please have better standards. When there is more stuff to consume in a space, that is where people will start being where you can start critiquing a medium. That is where the conversations take place. You have to have those conversations of I don't like this trope in yaoi, so I'm gonna either avoid this trope in the stuff that I make, and make sure to have these discussions with the friends that I know will understand me. And that's where you start finding like-minded individuals, and that's where you start building a community. And that's kind of just with everything, but especially in kind of yaoi spaces, it's really important, Because, like, you know, like the weird age gap, like fucking yaoi that happens like back in the 90s and 80s, a lot of people didn't really vibe with it. And that's why a lot of newer creators make their own, like, I guess, closer in age yaoi. Or if it's an age gap, they're both like well into adulthood and stuff. And that's where like we get old man yaoi, and we get more like bigger bodied yaoi, because a lot of guys were like, I don't want them to be twiggy, I'm gonna make my own. And they create those spaces because there's a need for it. Low-key, that's why I'm making a whole VN. My impact may be small to all, but my impact card every part of the life I love. Yeah, exactly. I was like, if someone donates 50 subs, I'll watch cafe fanfic of these two. And someone did it, and the VTubers gave consent. Wait, that's awesome. What the hell? That's really nice. But that's like what I feel like low key, like it's kind of a no-brainer statement like that I'm making, because like I feel like a lot of people already know this aspect of like creating. But the same token, I feel like people need a reminder, especially in this kind of like the world we're in at the moment, where it's like where a lot of like AI has been just kind of fucking everything up for a lot of people. I feel like it's important to remind everyone that your ability to create is yours and yours alone, and your unique experiences that you've lived as a human can contribute to a lot of the stuff that you can create on your own. So I feel like it's really important. How long has AI been getting petted? I'm trying to build a bald spot on my forehead, guys. They might make it into a movie, and just finding out this is somehow pretty common. Yeah, opinions on doomed old man yaoi. I eat this shit up forever. I eat it up. They better not. It's only one chapter. I'm clearly a novice. Hey, doesn't matter. I'll be real. As long as you can hit that niche and audience, you can make anything happen. Also, I'm pretty sure your abilities far surpass mine, so it'll be fine. But yeah, boomers, sorry. I get really passionate about creating. Like, there's always a market, and I say market because it's true, but it's like there's always a space for you to create the things that you enjoy, and you can always found that space for yourself. You can create it for yourself. Why the fuck do you think I'm VTubing, guys? I'm to attract more yaoi and magical girl people. I love both of them, and I want more people to talk about both of them. Do you know how embarrassing it is, dude? Talking about it at first, I was so embarrassed because I was like, dude, like, I'm gonna attract people that like magical girls, but they're probably not gonna like yaoi, blah, blah. And then I found people that like both, and I was like, whoa, you guys are kind of cool. I love 70-year-old Goku and Vegeta yaoi. Wait, you're looking. Wait, Loki, you're cooking. Wait, why are you cooking? Why are you cooking? Why make black VTubers? You can feel the lack of representation. Plus, it's fun as fuck. Dude, I want to learn more black hairstyles. I want to learn more. I have a magical girl OC, and I'm trying to experiment. So I'm trying to learn more and more and more. Also, it's really pretty. I like, there's this artist, Nanolis, and she's been learning a lot more black hairstyles. It's really cool. And I'm like, fuck, I want to learn more. But that's what I mean. People's impacts. You have impacts, guys. Even if you think that you're a baby small, guys, you can do a lot. Trust. There's this one artist that made Madoka Magica My Little Pony tarot cards that were all witches. And I think about that so often because I would stare at it as a kid. And when I saw it was getting stolen on TikTok, I messaged them, and they're like, I didn't think that anyone would like remember those, because like they were done for a commission a long time ago. And that kind of like put into perspective of like, guys, like even if you post something online, even if one person sees it, that could fucking change their trajectory. Because that's when I was like, dude, I fucking love the witch designs, and people are making their own, and I want more content of this. I want more of this. And I never got it as a kid because nobody made it, and I was too scared to make my own. But I actively seeked it out because it's like, fuck, this is cool. Yeah, no matter what you do, you have an impact, and you can make one, especially inside the art scene, because art is visual. It's visual storytelling, so you're able to do as much as you want. Even if it's miscellaneous cute art design, it's fun. It's not against saying go to cheat on your wife with another man, Krillin. I'm gonna have hot steamy sex with Goku. Real shit. AI yaoi versus yaoi. True, yaoi magical girls? Hell yeah. Creepy people and yaoi magical girls? Truth nuke. Wait, true. Shout out to friends of opposite gender not dating, but just being friends. People used to think I was dating my friends. Nah, that's whack. I hate when people thought that. And then they would hear me speak, and they'd be like, never mind. Why, dude? I remember this one time I was meeting my friend's boyfriend for this first time. He was giving me a weird look, and I was like, hi, I'm I. And he was like, oh, whatever. And he chilled out. I was like, what the fuck? It's like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck did you think I was doing? What would he rather me? What was he think I was gonna sound? He's like, yeah, what up, man? Hi, I'm I. Yeah. He would have been scared. He would have been freaked out. He's like, fuck, I can never compare to this dude. He likes yaoi and magical girls. His aura is so cool. Made a yaoi fanfic Captain America into HBO TV show about hockey players. You'll never know. Yeah, Mew and I make Deadpool yaois so that way I can see Deadpool and the other Deadpool like start kissing on screen. Low-key, Deadpool kind of was like my gay awakening in a sense because I remember my cousins playing it and I was like, whoa, who is this stupid man? And I really liked them. Wait, I'm kind of remembering this. Wait, was Deadpool my gay awakening? Fuck. Wait, hold on, I gotta think about this. Wait, give me a second. Guys, don't let your kids watch Deadpool. That man will turn him. I'd shit my britches. Damn. Oh my god, no, you don't understand. The stories I'm making are nowhere near that level. It doesn't matter. Stop shitting on yourself. Stop shitting on yourself. I'm gonna fucking punch you. I'm gonna punch you, Borfus. Stop shitting on your own work. Number one rule of being a creative, guys, don't shit on your own work. Always be like, I love how this turns out before you say anything you want to improve on. This, if you want show and tell advice for art, guys, if you want show and tell advice for how you're going to approach like talking about art, never shit on your art first thing. Always be like, I loved how this part of my art turned out. And then talk about what you want to improve upon. Because the more you, one, it's a good like mental thing, but two, it's like really important that you hammer that down because when you're eventually applying for like gigs and such, you need to learn how to actually talk good about your stuff. I don't mean like it's terrible. It's more like I'm good at writing for how much I've practiced. Well, say that instead. Because miscommunications exist within the art world. And if you've seen Twitter, we all know that miscommunications can lead to awful things. Yeah, he found out why he's him. Don't worry, Ryan Reynolds was my gay awakening. Real shit. Real shit. I just really like the way Deadpool's kind of stupid. Deadpool canonically queer, so yes, guys. That wasn't me clapping, by the way. That was me jumping up and down. But yes, I have a chance with Deadpool. Guys, do you think Deadpool would want me? Do you think Deadpool would want me? Do you think he would want me? I think he would want me, right, guys? Right, guys? Miscommunication? Sorry, I like men. Man, fuck you. Oh my god, you think Deadpool would want me? Moomers, if I married Deadpool, would you get mad at me? Would you get mad at me? Would you get mad at me? Please don't be mad at me. But like low-key, I would go for it immediately. No? Okay, good. Oh my god, I like yanking other style and thinking. I do like how I draw. Does low-key. Good, you can have him. Thank you. Thank you. No, yeah, if you're gonna listen, if you want to learn stuff, honestly, learning from other people's art styles is kind of the best way to do so. Because you just learn a lot. I did that with 𝘵𝘰𝘪𝘢, and I learned how she kind of like structures clothing a bit more, and I was like, wow, this makes a lot more sense, and I feel less stupid. Honestly, yeah, if not for your age. Is he old enough to be your dad? I don't give a fuck. Who the fuck cares? It's Deadpool. Actually, no, what if he was like fucking 50 years old or some shit? Oh, I don't know. Call me a gilf hunter, bro. I don't give a fuck. He's into it. I don't care. I don't fucking care. He wants me. That's why. Deadpool fucking wants me, guys. It's okay. It's okay, guys. Like, Deadpool's hot and has a good personality. I don't care if that dude is like on his deathbed. If he makes me laugh, it's good enough. My god, Wolverine is hundreds of years old and no more, and I'll still slap and tap that. Exactly, bro. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I've said this before. As long as he can make me laugh, I'm fucking chill. I'm chill, guys. I'm chill. I'm trying to draw this pose that a lot of people do, and it's kind of scary. Normal occurrence, yeah. It's like the Doctor and Rose. The fans will still root for it. Yeah, exactly. Like I don't think people understand what I'm willing to do for like one night with Deadpool. I do a lot. Well, making some jiggle. Listen. It's like kind of fun to imagine Deadpool low-key. I don't know. Also, like, this is me doodling right now because I don't really know what I want to draw, so I'm just gonna keep practicing for a bit. I feel like practicing art like this is kind of fun, especially when I don't know what I'm gonna be drawing. My anatomy will not be correct, by the way, but this is a good way to like get used to drawing forms, especially in poses I've never done before. This would actually be like this instead, and this would be more like this. Because you gotta think about the tits and ass rule where it's like they would not be out like that. My god. I would object at your wedding though. You're married to the stream already? True, I am low-key.
My God. For your dreams, a cup of tea. All right. My dreams, guys. My dream, low key, is when I was a kid, I used to want to be like a pastry chef. So I learned a lot about like baking and everything. That's why I can bake like a decent amount of stuff. Like I learned how to bake cheesecake by memory. I learned how to make a lot of like welcome in Kairu. Wait, like Kairu. I really hope I said Kairu because that would low key make more sense. Or not. But welcome in. How are you? How are you? Look at it. Look at it. You should be becoming a moomer. I'm like low key tweaking right now because I'm just talking about stuff that I really enjoy. But like I used to want to be a baker when I was younger, mostly because I don't know, I just fat ass. I just want to eat food. Listen, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay if you like fruit and you want to become a baker because of it. That's literally the whole point of it all, guys. That's the whole point of it all. But low key, I just wanted to eat a shit ton of like I just low key the tits and ass rule. Yeah, the tits and ass rule. You should not be able to see both. Like you should not be able to see a character's breaths and ass in the same like pose because that's too much contortion. I love cooking. Yeah, look at it. Hell yeah, cooking is fun. Cooking is really fun. Although I realized that the two main guys in my comfort anime would make a super cute couple, then just ship them. Easy, easy guys. Easy win. Easy win. I don't like sweets too much, but I love baking. Same. Ad break incoming! Moomers, join the dang Discord or I'm gonna get really angry. Not really, but like, yeah, I feel like people need to like learn how to lock the fuck in when it comes to what the hell? What's your hair looking like? Yeah. But like, I feel like when it comes to like, why am I immune to ad break? I'm not a sub. It's I don't know, maybe because you're locked in. But I feel like when it comes to like the warning is early. Yeah, it's around 5 minutes early. But yeah, I feel like fuck, I lost my train of thought, low-key. I'm sorry. I'm really stupid sometimes. I didn't get the last one. Oh, damn. What the hell? That's kind of funny. Also, I'm kind of muting them a bit because I'm on a roll with my conversations, but I realized that I probably should have let it go. Right now, I'm just kind of doodling a Miku design idea I have because I want to ensure that it makes sense from different angles and it's like fun to draw at least. And I'm learning that it's low-key not, but I don't really care. This is just me messing around anyway. I got reporting to Twitch to fix the issue. No, don't report me to Twitch. I've done nothing wrong. Monsieur Twitch, my chat is even trying to kill me. I didn't do anything wrong though. My God. But yeah, she's gonna be like this, I think, instead. I think this pose is cute too. I'm just making a little Miku design because I don't know, I feel like a lot of people need to stop taking Miku too seriously. I feel like people forget that Miku is an instrument and you can make any Miku you want. And then I'm just like, yeah, okay. I just like Miku. I think she's cool. I think she's cool. Oh my God. Approval of throwing tomatoes. How rude. How rude. I've done nothing wrong. But yeah, I like Miku a lot. But yeah, I used to want to be a baker. I wanted to bake a lot. And then I realized that I have to do health inspection stuff. And it was a shit ton of work to open a bakery. So then I stopped. She's a real girl. Nah. What if she wasn't though? What if she was like low-key this like instrument called Hatsune Mic. And she was like low-key evil. So yes, we love Miku. Everybody loves Miku. Comes free with your being online. People who don't like Miku don't. I can't believe that there's people who don't know what Miku is. I can't believe there's people that are willingly like ignorant on like what Miku is as a fucking like as like what she is in general. Like people are like, she's AI, guys, so you're against Miku. I'm like, no, you fucking dipshit. Sorry, easy 1 out of 10 rage bait. But it's like, no, she's not. She is technically an AI, but she's not an AI. She's an instrument that uses voice sampling. She's not even an AI. Some of them use AI, but it's like specifically collected off a small subset of data that is trained with consent and paid for. Hatsune Michael, true. I'll blow my shit across the ceiling. Real shit. Guys, learning also, by the way, what I'm doing right now is just a bunch of posing practice. If you guys want to like level up your posing game in a way, I would recommend like just like practicing poses like this, low key. They're really fun to do. And like they're also like kind of like OP when it comes to conceptualizing characters because you don't have to think about it too much.
You don't have to think about like coming up with too much character outlooks in a way. I also like this kind of look where like whenever characters are looking up at like the camera, because the common AI is only subsection AI. I know it is, but still it makes me really upset because I'm like, come on. I'm like, come on. I want her face to move up a bit like that. Actually, I want this to go like that. Like that instead. She's a collection of voice clips by a paid and credited actor. The voices stitched together from voice clips. Exactly. I've made an 𝘴𝘰𝘤𝘪𝘢 before, so the process is actually really fun. It's not completely similar, but it's really fun. Well, it is pretty similar to the actual like method that a lot of like vocal synths use. But I loved recording my 𝘴𝘰𝘠𝘪. It was really fun. Oh my god, no access to Wi-Fi and there's lower bass in it. Yeah, there's more AI. Why don't they stream? Yeah, I kidnapped them. There's only supposed to be one. I'm supposed to be there for you. No one else is, okay? No one else. Also, Len cosplay go real shit. Len Kagamine be like, I'm Len Kagamine. I also feel like people are forgetting that Dean and Len aren't siblings. Like they're not canonically siblings. That's one thing I forget. Like a lot of people don't know in this day and age. It's a headcanon that people make them as twins. They're not twins. There's different interpretations. One of them is that they're twins. I like to think that they're twins personally. Her eyes are too high up. But there's different interpretations. Some people view them as like counterparts to the same person, so it's the same person just switched out. So I view them as like, I don't know. I view them like, I don't know. When people like view them as dating, I'm just like, whatever. I don't really care. Because I know that's a popular also like thing in JP to make them like a couple, which is okay. I don't really care. I view them whenever I view them as siblings. So I don't really like when people ship them. No, I don't really care. As long as they're not doing both. As long as they're just not doing both. But if they do both, I just look away. Because I just DNI, guys. If you see something you don't like, just DNI. That's the healthiest way to interact with stuff. Sounds too much like Kingdom Hearts. Lol. Real. Kingdom Hearts be fucking gay as shit, though, from what I hear. They're just like, you know, you're my best friend, Sora. And, you know, I just think about you every day that I live. I'm like, okay. Oh my god. Do you think Tedo and Miko are friends that hang out? Yeah. You know, but isn't that weird though? Because Tedo is like 30 now. Tedo's like has a confirmed age. Tedo's 30. The Diva's 30. She's not even human. You guys know that, right? Tedo's 30. So there's like 5 people. Lol. All right. Yeah. Tedo's 30. She's like Chimera, I believe. She's a Chimera. Tedo's 30. I love Tedo. Tedo be like, I have a driving license. They're coworkers though. Kinda, yeah. In a way, yeah. They're more like people that work at the same department at 2 different companies. Like a different branch almost. So I guess kind of. In a way, yes. In a way. I'm like learning how this like pose would look. I'm like thinking on how this would look. My god, I don't care how it is in your head. My head, they're coworkers and friends. Yeah, they go on lunch breaks and shit. Oh my god, the one thing I learned is don't let anxiety control how you draw before you have a good idea. I drew a kind of bottom to top perspective viewing pose and was too nervous to draw in, but Bigger Witch led me to drawing her with the very small legs for the pose. Honestly, learning how to draw different poses is fun, and all you need to do is just kind of like figure out what the general vibe is first and then go on with it later. You learn a lot of anatomy stuff while you're drawing regardless, and like I'll tell you right now, this right now is not anatomically correct whatsoever. However, it's getting the vibe that I want across okayly. Okayly? The fuck? That's not even a word. But I can tell you right now, I'm not going to continue this post because it's low-key chopped. But like as long as you can kind of get like an impression across, art should always just be impression first, then like everything else later. It's always impression first and then everything else later. Cause like, what are you gonna do if it's not? Damn, her thighs are thick as shit. Oh my god. After I got advice, I was happy and didn't look as drawing it either in regards. Yeah, real shit. Yeah, draw her flexing like a wrestler. Lol. I should though. It'd be kind of fun. Also, I need to learn that legs are a lot longer. This goes like this, this. Oh, ad break ended. Welcome back. So entirely correct. Real people aren't 2D, but we see them as 2D. I gave a friend starting on anatomy advice once she flipped out. I actually study it too. Real. Some people don't want advice, and that's the hardest advice I gotta take. I gotta realize. Draw her getting an education. This Miku's like what, like 20? My Miku's 20. She's a 20-year-old. She's 20-year-old. She's low-key unemployed. I low-key want her to be like low-key unemployed as hell. That's my idea for this Miku. I want her to be unemployed and she's just kind of doing whatever. Like she lives off like I don't know, whatever. She does what she's magical. She doesn't need money. She doesn't need money, but if she ever wants to do something in like the real world, she's like, fuck man, I gotta figure something out. This is my Miku. Oh my god, there should be a tomboy Miku for real. There is. There's a lot of them. I like a lot of tomboy Mikus. Yeah, hello. Welcome in, Crybaby. Welcome in. Hey, welcome. Some people don't really like anatomy advice, yeah. I feel like a lot of people don't really like advice a lot these days. It's kind of sad. But at the same token, I'm not going to give unsolicited advice if people don't want it. That's just plain rude. I feel like there's a weird thing a lot on TikTok, especially that there's like a subsection of artists that, damn, every time I draw a pose like this, I just kind of think that this looks like Ariana Grande. It just kind of reminds me of Ariana Grande. Ariana Grande be like, I'm moe and shit. I Shindar. Bro. Oh my god. I draw eye passing the bar exam. I can't draw fiction like that. Now that's just plain fiction. I heard today being called a 30-year-old minor, and that's the weird. Sorry. Dude, I make that joke sometimes. Like you're bullying a blank-year-old minor, bro. What the fuck? They're like, shut the fuck up, I. I'm like, it's funny. Oh my god, it's so funny. It's so funny to me. I love getting constructive criticism. I like it when I ask for it, but I only like it when it's from other artists, because if it's not from an artist, I get really upset because I'm like, bro, what? If it's unsolicited, not from an artist, I'm like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? Leave me alone. I didn't ask for this. But if it's from an artist, I'm like, oh, thank you. I wasn't looking for advice, but I appreciated it, I guess. I don't like when people give me unsolicited advice because it kind of makes me feel kind of bad. Like, it doesn't make me feel hurt. I'm just like, okay, whatever. But I'm just like, I didn't ask right now. Now I don't want to listen to you. I don't get combative. I just get like, man, that's kind of, why'd you tell me that right now? I agree, because they know what they're saying. If it's like, oh, I think you should make this a little bit bigger, I'm like, oh yeah, okay. If I'm drawing in a voice call, that's like low-key like me saying like, if you have any ideas, like let me know. But if it's like, if I'm just like posting shit online and someone's like, this looks like ass, I'm like, you should die. Not really, that's kind of mean. But it's like, I'm like, bro, what? Why would you, what the hell? Okay, whatever. Well, I'm so glad I can change that now. Let me re-upload. But it's not something I really care too much about. The only thing I don't like is when people compare my OCs to other people. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Just don't talk about that right now. I'm just like, whatever. I don't really care that much, but it's also like, why would you tell me that though? I don't want to know that. I didn't ask. I didn't want to know. Now I'm getting a little insecure. I'm like, oh shit, what did I do? Is this wrong? But at the same time, I also don't care. I don't know. I care, but I don't care to the degree that a lot of people think I would. You do go bald for real in all those head pats? I hope so. Low-key, I feel like I'm scared that I'm gonna go bald, but I take care of my hair like crazy, and I also like make sure it's clean and everything. I like how this Miku is turning out low-key. She's really cute. This Miku design is just really fun to draw. They think they know what they're saying. Ditto. I have a lot of object heads that they get compared to Dandy's World for some reason. I had no clue what it was until then. Yeah, I don't know. Support bald head Shindo, full beard Shindo. Yeah, me and I'm Loki Santa Claus. Yeah, Santa Claus Shindo. Oh ho ho! Oh ho 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 ho! Merry Christmas! I like drawing stupid fuck ass Aishido. Hey, don't take my hair. Here. Me and I'm like Loki and Elf. Y'all rock with me. Get inspired by one shot of FNAF. Oh yo, FNAF kind of crazy. Someone say boom. That's so mean. Why would you do that to me? I've done nothing wrong. This is mean. That's kind of mean, man. That's kind of mean. Sigh, whatever. I feel like whenever but when you get compared to your inspo, it's another level of joy. Yeah, when it's like, oh, I can see when I tell you guys my inspiration, it's like, oh, I can see where that comes from. I'm like, yes, thank you for noticing, thank you. My God, it looks like a little bug. Yeah, I like drawing chibi. There's like doodles and there's chibis. There's two different kinds, right? I feel like doodles are fun when I'm just kind of like low-key out of it. Moomers, I'm so sorry. I'm like really bad at drawing right now because I cannot focus on one thing for shit right now. Like genuinely, I'm not zooted, but high-key, I am absolutely like, I am abso-fucking-lutely out of it today. Oh my God, dude, I'm also like kind of pushing my throat a bit because I'll be real, my throat hurts like crazy, but that's okay. I dropped my pen. That's okay. This is what I do whenever I don't really know what I'm drawing or what I do to warm up because I feel like it's fun. Also, like, I don't know, I kind of like drawing like weird ass hands. Guys, if you want fun things to draw your hands doing weird things. I think it's really fun. Also, just draw like this. Drawing feels so free when you can just understand things for once. Drawing feels really free. I keep love your line art though. Any tips? Really? Okay, I'll be real. Figuring out line art's been one of my biggest struggles, and I'll show you something that's interesting with my line art lately. Here, I'll show you with my latest illustration. Guys, I fucking love. Was the real she knows how to shape like, hey Arnold, man, fuck you. No, it's not. Don't be mean. I'll show you some line art stuff that I've done and what I've done to kind of like help with that. Basically, I switched to a pen where I'm trying to make short, quick strokes. There's two things that like improves line art. One, getting faster at how you draw your lines and line confidence. Line confidence obviously is getting faster, but also being sure. Sorry, my stutter, damn. Being sure like what you're drawing is like kind of the goal, right? I'll show you with this drawing here. I'll show you. I didn't do this one on stream because I just wanted to get this over with, low-key. I'll be real, moomers. I just kind of wanted to get this drawing done. Here, let's turn all my fancy shit off. Where is that? Let's turn all this fancy stuff off. Nice stroking, bro. How'd you draw that fast? Lol. Here, we can look at, is this it? Yeah, here's the base drawings, by the way. I did 3 different drawings with this. And with that, I did sketches. So here's the actual thumbnail. And honestly, I kind of dig the thumbnail a lot more. So this is the thumbnail sketch that I had for this drawing. I can just take you through my whole process, by the way. Basically, for those of you who want to know how I kind of illustrate in a way, I don't know. I kind of feel like pretentious when I say that. I feel a little pretentious when I say that. But for those of you who kind of want to understand my process, I typically think about what I want to draw and what I've seen. I think around this time, I really wanted to be like, oh, I really like how I'm seeing a lot of different like compositions where there's multiple full bodies. I've been trying to figure out how to get more interaction on Twitter. I'm very transparent when it comes to what I want in terms of social media goals, right? And on Twitter, I've been wondering how I can get more, not attention, but more interaction or more time that people are going to look at the drawing, right? And obviously like people have known this for a while, but I really took it to heart where people were like, Aishindo, drawing multiple full bodies in one image really helps with that, because like when you think of like drawings that have more than one character in it, you most likely will zoom in on the details, or you'll zoom in on the differences. If you draw multiple, let's say like you just draw Madoka, people are like, oh cute, it's Madoka, and they'll zoom in maybe a little bit and they'll like leave because it's like just Madoka, right? That's spending a little bit of time on your post. So if you draw Madoka in a different outfit, they'll spend a little bit more time if they're interested at all, right? So that's kind of the mindset a lot of people do. I'm eating salami, that actually feels good. Oh, thank you, I want to hear the process, thank you. So essentially, when you draw multiple characters, like the whole maybe holy quintet or just Madohomu, people are like, oh, it's Madohomu. and like maybe they're doing something, like they're holding hands or they're doing something. Oh, I want to zoom in on the expression they're making. Oh, I want to see how they're interacting. And you'll get a lot more people on that post in specific, right? So that was my mindset. I'm like, oh, I saw this one stuff where like they'll take the drawing and they'll make it big and they'll make it transparent in the background, so it adds more visual interest, right? But I was like, oh, but what about the ones where they make like a chibi full body and like a little character like pose? Because you'll see when people post their like references and reference sheets and VTubing, they have a couple of emoticons or like a little bit of emotions of that character, not only to understand like the vibe of the character themselves, but also it adds a lot more visual interest because you're like, oh, this is the kind of character they like. And if you really resonate with them, you'll follow and everything like that. So I was like, okay, let's make a yandere themed eye, because I just wanted to. So I created like a really quick thumbnail one day, and then I added like the background, like the little back thing, and I added the little chibi because I'm like, I want to practice making chibis really quickly, right? So that's like my basic concept, and I made this layout, and I was like, maybe it'll be square, maybe it won't be. And so then I refined this sketch a little bit more, and I kind of like understand what I like. I'm using the same brush for all of this, by the way. I'm using the same, I don't know what this brush is called, I'll be real, it's all in Japanese, I'm sorry. I switched my liner brush lately, but I do really like the design pencil for sketching still. But this is the thumbnail I made originally with him being like shh, right? And then there's this second one where I'm figuring out what I really want, like his hands. As you can see, I add a little bit more details, like, oh, I want the like more asymmetry onto the like sleeves, and I just add, and I add, and I figure out his legs a little bit more. Don't be afraid of sketching more than once on your illustrations, because it's very important that you understand what you're about to draw when you do line art. That's also a good line art tip. Do not be afraid of sketching more than twice. I know people don't mind sketching more than once, where it's like, oh, I'll sketch another time. But if you really need to, please sketch more than 2 times. If you need it, sketch more than 3. That is dead ass one of my best advice for better line art. If you do not know what you are lining, you need to know. That's one thing in general. You need to know what you're lining. And that's not like you need to get it specifically, like you need to understand what you're lining immediately, or like you need to know like how a hand works in and out. I'm not saying that. I can show you what I mean, because there's a specific part. You see this hand? I got the silhouette down. I was like, I want him to be pointing his finger at his mouth. But if I were to line this like that, I would spend like an hour plus probably figuring out what I wanted this hand to look like. So the purpose of resketching it is not only to figure out, oh, I want to figure out the hair forms, but also like, oh, this hand makes a lot more sense now because I have a little bit more context. Essentially, you're giving yourself context. You're giving yourself more context on what you want to draw. And like, also, damn, that's rude as freak. But also like, oh, this sleeve is like very much like, it's your sketch right here. My sketch right here is to capture the form and general flow of the drawing itself. So you can see there's big sketches here. You can see like, oh, like Aishino probably like shoo 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 shoo. I love big breasts. Yo, what up? I like big man boobs. But you're being really inappropriate, bro. Just don't fucking do that. Ew, I don't want to see that. That's scary. I don't like your profile picture. Don't put that there. Calling me out low-key? Lol, no, real though. But like, essentially what happens is like, but essentially what like happens is like I want to I ensure that my forms make sense. Your sketches are to capture the energy of a drawing, right? But like your second pass, that's what I'm gonna call it for like simplistic sake. Your second pass is to really understand the form you're doing. I guess this might not be a good example within this, but like also for my hair in here, you can see I'm like really doing like a lot of concave and like a lot of curves. But like when I do like this, I'm kind of figuring out the general flow of what I want it to be. This is a new record for how long he's been bald. No, I've been bald for an entire stream before. And then also for the legs, I drew them like this, and there's no way I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna draw the legs, but you get that. And so after this second pass, I also figure out what shape I want the head to be in, like on this part, and I figure out more and more. That's what my second pass is for. And then we get to lines. My line art, I separate all these, by the way, just so it's like easier to do, right? My line art is very simple. It's a very simple line art style. I essentially use the same brush for everything, and I start with the bang mostly. But if you look at the hair, you'll notice that whenever I line, it's very much like I'm not actually covering the entire thing. Whenever I'm drawing hair like this, I found that when you are struggling with something, especially in art, you have 2 choices. You can learn, and you can use that strictly, like hands and feet, right? Because you're supposed to learn their forms. Or you can adapt. And this is a case of me adapting. Essentially, instead of, I struggled with like finding like, you know how like a lot of anime character hair will be like this, like closed, where it's like closed and overlapping. I hate that. I hate it. I had this one issue where characters with like blunt bangs are so fucking hard for me to draw, and it still exists. I hate drawing blunt bangs. So what did I learn? I learned that I can kind of create faux bangs. I see a lot of artists like Vivinos who, like, for her like characters with like cute bangs like in the front, she'll just do lines, right? They'll just do lines right like this on their front bangs. So like, I kind of want to do that, but I don't want it to be empty. So, and then I notice a lot of anime too, when they draw characters with blunt bangs, they'll actually leave a gap right here and they'll just put the color in. And that's what I started doing. But I was like, I don't want it to look like that though, because then it looks way too open. So I started adding these little dashes in between to give the impression that it actually was closed like this. And so that's what I started doing. And so anytime I'm doing bangs, I just start drawing like this. And it's a lot easier for me to understand too. It's way easier and it's a lot more fun because it feels a lot less intimidating. Sharp hair feels so euphoric to draw. No, actually though. And so that's how I'll start drawing hair. And then also you'll see that the opacity of this section of hair is a lot less than this. And this is because if I left it all like the same opacity, it would get very confusing very quickly, especially because I paint my hair a bit. So what'll happen is like, it'll just look a lot ugly. I'm not gonna lie with you. It would start looking very ugly and very muddy. So I actually, this is kind of recent, I'll lower the opacity. I'll take like a brush, lower the opacity, and I'll just like pretend this is like a low opacity brush, and I'll go over it like once or twice, including with the eyebrows. I know people say like, oh, and eyebrows don't go through the bangs, but I'm like, bro, I have my giant fucking forehead ass bangs, man. I want to see what the character's emoting. It looks really weird if I don't. And I also do that in between as well on some of the strands. Like you'll see, oh wait, I don't think I do it on this drawing, but like anytime there's high clusters of lines here, I'll go over it again. I'll like make it transparent, wrote down notes and ate them. And now I'm slightly smarter. Hell yeah. So yeah, that's what I'll do. I've been really turning down the opacity on some of my line art just because. And you'll see I also add a little bit of details. And you'll look at my lines and you'll see that they're very quick. I don't spend a lot of time like worrying about like the shapes as much anymore, in all honesty. Does anyone have advice or ruffles? And try looking at references, I just get confused when they fold for skirts. I do. I have really good stuff. But I'll quickly wrap up what I'm talking about before I talk about it, okay? I'll show my credentials, trust. I love how the outermost lines are darker. You do that after finishing line art? Actually, all of my lines when I'm lining and for line art are dark to begin with. And then, yeah, sometimes I'll do it afterwards. Yeah, I'll go out of it my way to do it afterwards. It just helps it a lot more. It just helps a lot more, in my opinion. Here, I'll show you my credentials. I'll show you my credentials for Ruffles, lol. But yeah, that's what I'll do mostly for line art, essentially. And then I'll color it too, but like I won't like go too in depth with it, mostly because like coloring your line art is just according to your base colors. See, it's all like, I turn it mostly to a dark brown, and then I'll just make it like more pinker on the eyes as well. And then I'll put like my flats. This is what my flats look like. And then I make a new folder and just add the top layer as well. Yeah, it's just a lot of like blending together. Well, blending in quotes, but it's mostly just low opacity and putting pass-throughs. Yeah, that's what this art is mostly composed of. For ruffles, it depends on what you want, right? Ruffles are very strange. I will say taking your time on ruffles is very important. If you want references, I would recommend looking up ball jointed dolls. Ball jointed dolls are dolls that are very small and they have a lot of really finely made clothing. I like the anime style ones because they're closer to what my art revolves around. But ball jointed dolls will help you because since the fabric is a lot tighter and smaller, you can reference them and actually understand what's happening. To understand ruffles, you need to understand basic clothing. And that is what ruffles are. I've said this before in a previous stream, but I don't mind repeating myself. Ruffles are just gathered fabric that's being cinched together, right? And when you think, and you have to keep that in mind. I know that sounds more like easier said than done, but it's deadass. You have to keep that in mind. Oh my god, when are we gonna get I with a beard when I become Santa Claus next year? As you can see, like these are like a little bit of ruffles underneath, right? Ruffles have ridges, they do, right? So you'll see like kind of like what I'm talking about with how ruffles are in here. you'll see that like the fabric itself is like going over here. It's like bunching up in between, right? Oh, I need to put like a white layer underneath this. I'll show you my ideas, right? I'll show you the ideas I had while drawing this, right? You'll see like right here how the fabric is kind of like cinched up, and I'm imagining how that's affecting the ruffle. So the ruffles are going to point back to this spot in particular, and they're going to point back here, and there's probably going to fold under a bit and fold under. Essentially, ruffles will come back to a singular point. So I would imagine like this ruffle goes like here, this ruffle goes here, and you want to keep that consistent. The main thing is that don't fret over the shape of the ruffle as much. That is not, in all honesty, that is probably not your biggest concern. That is not your biggest concern whatsoever. You just, to keep a good ruffle shape is just to keep in mind where the gathering, which is this part, is. Because in all honesty, a good sketch of mine, right? I can draw like a little top, right? Like this is like, say this is the neck and like the bodice of like a thing, right? Right, this is the thing, and this is where a skirt like comes out. We can just do like that. We can just make this shape, right? Where it's just down, up, with two things, right? As long ruffles have ridges. No, you're good, Nighthawk. We can essentially create a really good rough sketch for ruffles very quickly if we just keep that principle in mind, right? Even with this, a skirt as a giant ruffle, we'll see that it goes up, right? And we'll see like, oh, it's probably because this is like going down one way. This is like a very stationary kind of look, right? It's very stationary. But if it's twisting, maybe it'll go here instead, right? It'll go turn around, right? But for simplicity's sake, we're going to say it goes here. Right? We're going to say the dress goes like that, right? And so maybe we want ruffles at the edge, right? We can create, like for a nice guide, we can just keep in mind like, oh, like this is extending this way. This is extending, and keeping these all the same length just for it to keep it like consistent. This is not like a guide, but we're going to like keep in mind like it's basically one piece of fabric that's bunched together. So let's just pretend there's an extended piece of fabric right here, right? So now that there's an extended piece of fabric, we're gonna, in blue, this will be our ruffle shape, right? We can just kind of imagine, or if you can't imagine, we can create like guidelines, right? Let's like we'll separate this off a bit, and we'll just overlap them a bit. We'll overlap. We'll think about it overlapping with itself. In fact, this part would probably go underneath because this goes above, but not that much. So it'd probably go like that instead, like this. And we're just gonna keep that in mind. And because ruffles are technically a 3D shape, a good way to keep like a good consistent like depth to them, or like to make them look actually thick, you don't want to connect the top part of this line, right? It's just to make it look like it's a fabric. It's 3D. And you can keep it like that, right? So then, honestly, kind of just go crazy. I like to do like a lot of like just like this shape, just like up and down, bump, and just kind of keep that, and like maybe just go erratic, like shake your arm, not like tight, but like just move your wrist, like woo, like pretend you're making gibberish, right? And as long as you're going like blah 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 and changing it up a bit like that, you can make a decent ruffle shape really quickly, and you can refine it later. So I would probably go like keep this out, and then you'd go like blah 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 blah. And then you're gonna go blah, blah, blah. And you see how I hook it underneath? Because this is a curve. It's curving, so the fabric will curve again. So instead of like going it straight from here, I go a little bit under and I go blah, 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 blah. Scribble, 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 scribble. And then if you want a quick sketch, you just take any time like it kind of pops up a lot. We go this way, like a V or an N shape. And you see this, we're gonna make sure that every single time we go out one way, we're gonna make another one that goes in another way. And we're gonna go out and in, always keeping out and in, out and in. And you can also add a little bit, but if you're gonna make it like, if you're not gonna add an out and in, just make a small one instead. Just make it small. Make it small. Don't make it as big as the other ones, because then it's gonna look inconsistent unless you go like that. But that's kind of weird. So just make it smaller so it's more consistent with everything. And like for this part, we can also make it go out, because that's a guaranteed out. And we just kind of like out, blah, blah. Actually, I feel like that would look good. And don't be afraid to like redo some parts, right? So since this is going up as well, we're also going to make that one a very prominent in, and just like a little bit of an in like that, right? And explain how I can draw your attention to me. That's like a very basic like sketch ruffle, right? So that's kind of how I kind of did it. And so if you want a more refined ruffle like this, you gotta keep in mind that ruffles are over and under, over and under. And I kind of did the same thing with that, actually. This kind of guideline. I did the same thing, except I kept it consistent. So I did under and then over. Just keeping in mind that they're all gonna go back to the same place, and anytime it's going under, it'll also go back to that place as well, because it's the same sheet of fabric. And that's kind of how I would do it. I hope that would make sense, lol. Because I know I'm just saying a lot, lol. And remember that anytime it goes under, it'll always go to the same point as the top. Okay, thank you so much. Yay! And eventually you'll be able to do stuff like this. I'll be real, a lot of this under layers is just like me going like that kind of crazily and turning down the opacity of the liner. Remember, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Remember, and don't worry if your ruffles are not like perfect uniformly, all right? Your top layer of ruffles are probably going to be the thing that'll, and that's not to like make you sad or anything, but the top layer of your ruffles are probably going to be one of the only things your viewer will notice about ruffles unless they want to zoom in a shit ton. That's why you make your top layer of ruffles really uniform. You make sure to keep those concepts in mind, right? Because when you start making under layers like this, like a petticoat, you can just go do fuck off, whatever. As long as you're keeping it consistent. You see like how this part goes up and around and still maintaining the out. As long as you keep it, remember, like they're like rings. They're like rings. They're like different rings inside of rings. As long as you keep that in mind, you can do whatever the fuck you want with them. Deadass. You can do whatever you want. And as long as you lower the opacity and make it seem like there's something that's like really cool. Like you see how in all these ruffles I made a small line? This is just to make it look like it's still fabric. Like, I'm being real with you. That's just to make it look like it's still real fabric. Because are you saying that this is a realistic ruffle? No, not really. But this outside one looks convincing enough to where it is, right? So as long as you're making a lot of ruffles in the middle of it, if you're doing that, it does not matter if it looks 1000% believable. Your main focus is to be like, wow, that's a lot of ruffles. It makes a petticoat. Rather than, oh, does this look enough like a ruffle, blah, blah, blah. Cabbage. Oh, she cute. Yeah, this is still Aishindo. They're all Aishindo, actually. This is Aishindo. This is also Aishindo. This one's Madoka. Lol, so it's not Aishindo. And then the Miku. Hydration and carpal tunnel stretch reminder. Truth nuke. Truth. Dudes, do your stretches as an artist. Oops, I kind of killed my tablet. My bad. You know, I'm gonna put my hair back on because my thinking cap is on. Let me drink this. I wanna drink this. Yum. This lemon tea is really good. It's very lemony though. Very. But like I combined it with like an echinacea tea, so it's really nice. It's really nice and sweet. It's not bitter at all. People, I remember in Madoka, they're like, echinacea tea is so fucking bitter. Man, Kyoko, fuck you. Actually, I go tea. Yeah. There actually is a Homura drawing to the Madoka one that I was gonna finish and I never did. It looks like this. I should finish this actually. Your talent will never fail to evade such mind-blowing art. Thank you. This is the Homura one. I drew individual lace. Oh, I drew lace. Oh, I drew lace. I had to figure out how that fucking works. Oh my god. That was awful. I loved it though. Oh, can I be real? I'm joking about it being awful. That was like the finish I need to make my PMV, please. True. I love that Homura so much. I do too. I need to go back and finish it. Hi. Yeah, welcome in, Tim. What up? But oh my god, look. I had so much fun doing this line art, dude. This line art was so fun. It was so fun. I loved it, dude. I loved doing this liner. I just got busy with commissions, man. I got really busy with commissions, so I had to finish them. That's the thing. I had to do that, but I don't mind. I love this Homura drawing, and honestly, it still holds up in my art style, so it's completely fine if like I'm kind of just fucking off and doing whatever, man. It's fine. I don't mind. It's fun. I feel like people need to have more fun when they draw. Drawing has always been fun, and I feel like people kind of hark on it way too much as a skill. Like, guys, get your money, fam. Lol. I love how you break down and explain everything. This helps you better explain yourself to artists when I commission them. Yay! Well, thank you so much for text. Thank you so much for becoming a moomer. Welcome in, welcome in. Yeah, I love explaining art, because the thing is like, art is still knowledge. Art is knowledge inherently. So when you talk about it, people who are non-artists or people who are beginning still are understanding the core concepts of it, and they can identify what they like in art and what they don't like. I feel like commissioners, my number one tip for commissioners, low-key, is honestly just like, if you're commissioning something and you want a specific pose, do some shit like this. Maybe you want a pose where they have a sword. Be like, draw some shit like this, like you can do like that. Like draw something like that. Draw something like this, and like maybe they have pigtails and shit. Like, draw something like this. If a commissioner like showed me something like this, like, I'm sorry, I want to draw. Can you draw her in a pose like that? I'd be like, this helps me so much. Like, genuinely, you guys have no idea how much like this kind of like shit helps with like a lot of artists, man. The thing is like, you don't have to do it, obviously, when you're commissioning artists. Sometimes you just want them to go crazy. But me and my dog just low-key want to talk to me right now. But I did this when I commissioned graphics like logos. Yes, because if you have a very specific taste on what you like in art, it will do you wonders. It will do absolute wonders if you give like artists like a thumbnail. This is what we call a thumbnail, by the way. A thumbnail drawing like this, because we immediately can understand, oh, they want a pose that it's them with a like whatever the fuck this is, say it's Miku or whatever. Like, they want a Miku with a sword that looks angry, or like they want one that's fired up. Like, if you just draw like the face and shit, like they want a fired up Miku that looks cool. Then we can narrow down what you want very quickly. And it is so helpful. It is so helpful. And if you don't care like what pose they draw on, you don't need to do that, obviously. You don't need to. But if you're very specific, oh my god, this helps. I've had issues with commissioners where, not issues, but rather we've had miscommunications, rather, because I don't like saying issues with commissioners unless they're like low-key like, I hate you, die. But I've had miscommunications before with commissioners, which obviously I've done my best to solve. And majority of them, honestly, 9 out of 10 times, it's honestly just miscommunication, which is fine. Where we've had a back and forth with like, what do you want as a pose? And they're like, I don't understand how to explain this to you in a way. And so most of the time it's been resolved by me going like, just send me whatever. Like, don't send me another person's art. Send me what you want in stick figure format, and then maybe a couple other art references. And majority of the time it's been immediately banged out. Like, is this what you want? They're like, yes. And it is alleviated so much pressure. And honestly, posts like this go banger on Twitter for a reason, where artists like, commissioners, if you just draw something like this is honestly low-key interaction bait at this point, because it's solid advice. It's solid advice. Easy banger tweet because it's true. It goes banger because it's true. It goes platinum. But it's true. It's very much true. It's so true. Truth nuke. But I feel like a lot of people need to learn the distinction between like being annoying as a commissioner, quote unquote, versus being very resourceful, right? Like, if you're gonna give me a design commission, like, there's time and place, right? I've had people who want me to do a design commission and then they have no idea what the fuck they want, and I'm like, please, I want to work with you and I want to have fun with you, but I need to know what you want. And low-key, I don't really like when people send me AI art for shit like that, because I'm like, don't send me AI. That pisses me off. If you want it so bad, draw it yourself. Draw the accessory you like on yourself, or like low-key just, I don't want to see AI. Don't send me AI, lol. But like, genuinely, fucking stick figure that shit. Give me a fucking lined paper and crayon. I'll eat that shit up. For real. Like, for designs, like, obviously it's a lot more thought out. Loki, I've had a commissioner like pull up a Google Doc. I wanted to kiss him on their mouth. Now that's weird, but like, low-key, like, I was like, whoa, you're awesome. Cause like, I love that. I love when people have Pinterest galleries. I love when people put a dog where it's like, this is the character story and I want a little bit. I hair came back. It's a miracle true. Guys, I got on I must have Herbalife. Me and I'm on the MLM. No one ever told me this to draw what I had in mind. So trying to find art close to the references near possible. Exactly. It solves that issue. I always use docs and slides for the reference. Oh my God, if people use slides, I'd be so fucking happy. Oh my God. Google slide. Oh my God. Oh my God, that'd be awesome. Oh my God, that'd be awesome, dude. Oh my goodness. If someone handed me a PowerPoint presentation of like, this is the general vibe, and they go like, this is what I want for the face, and they put a little bit of stuff like hair, and it's like, or photo bashing. I'd be giggling. I'd be clicking my feet in the air. Like, you can hear me. I'm going to test this out with my next commissions. Hell yeah. Have fun. Dude, I exist. Guys, my streams, my last 2 design com I did with the artist, I made a collage. Definitely do it again. I love designing. It's fun. It's so fun. I love designing because, honestly, designing is just slapping shit on. Where's my fuck-ass Miku? Like, designing is genuinely so fun. Like, look, this is what you can start out. Ignore this. I was messing with poses. Like, designing, I feel like people overthink designing sometimes, right? But genuinely designing is so fun. Like when you're designing, dead ass, it's really fun. All you need to do, like, take this. I take this pose, I draw on top of it, and I just start going like, la 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 la. I'm just messing around. I'm like, I want to make a cool Miku. And I'm like, I want this shape in here. I want shapes. I like shapes. You just need to just put whatever. Like, I'm like, I want a big cape. I like stealing Eden's cape, low-key. That big cape is really cute. It's really nice. I love the off-shoulder cape so much. It's a really nice touch by their mama. And so I'm like, I want a big cape. I want cool lines. Do you think I know what the fuck this shape is or what this is supposed to be? No, I don't. That's the thing. I feel like people like don't understand when they see like really quick concepts that concept artists do. Like, bro, I don't know what the fuck I'm drawing. I'm just drawing what feels right. Like, I'm just like, I like this shape. I want to draw this shape. I like it when it's twisting. I like it cool. I low-key start giggling and jumping up and down when I get a little detail right. You heard nothing? No, real shit though. Why is Milky canonically so much younger than Teto? Teto's like 34. Miku's whatever age. I think she's listed as 16, but she's an instrument, so all Mikus are canon. But yeah, Teto's like 34 because she's a joke character. That's why. Guys, do you guys remember Teto? Low-key tangent. You guys know Teto's like origin is like she's a joke character that was made on Utao. So she's like she's not even human. She's a chimera, and she's 34. And she's low-key mean. She has a bratty personality, if I remember correctly. People are watering down Teto, guys. Teto, my goat 30s Teto is fucking mean. Anyway, I'll show you my Miku idea, right? I wanted to make a Miku that was themed after chocolate. Because I saw this like post a while ago where it's like, every artist needs to make their own Miku design. I was like, I want to do that. I want to make a Miku design. This is pretty cool. Yeah, we love her. Thank you. This is Parlor Night, Ice Cream Parlor Night Miku. But at first it was just chocolate. So I was like, I want to make a Miku. Isn't it Teto, bigger hater, but also wants to be them? No, real. I love it. It's so fire. But like, I want a cool one, and I want it to be really cool and awesome. So I make it like really cutely night themed almost. And I'm like, I wonder if like she's like Kuro and did like she has a bonnet on. And then I quickly realized on my second pass, I was like, fuck, I don't know how to draw a bonnet. I quickly realized that I don't know how to draw a bonnet. And so this is the idea I came up with, right? Also in the old one too, this is like a wafer roll. I turned into wafer roll themed as well. Moomer lost their pencil. Yeah, Moomer's low-key evil. Bonnet from Five Nights Freddy, truth. And so I turn it into like chocolate rolls and I added pink on it too, because I was like, wait, pink complementary color. I want to add pink. Because I was like, I want her to be like mint. I really like Miku when she's more green. I feel like when Miku, this is also character design, lol. We doing every fucking we're doing every art lesson today because I can't fucking think straight. So character design wise, I'm like, asymmetry would be cool. So I mismatch her socks and I add a lot on one side and I keep her sword on this side. And I'm like, what if she has like she's ice cream parlor. So I'm like, what if it's like the marshmallow bunny sticks and stuff. And so I was like, wait, what if I add pink? At first this was like only blue. Hold on, let me pull up this canvas's speed paint. I have speed paints enabled for all of my canvases just in case. Yum, yum, yum. Hold on, give me a second. Nom, 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 la, 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 la. Yum, yum. La, 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 la. Oop, oop, Here, I got it. Here, let me take this. Here, I can show you time lapses now. Here, look, I'll show you. I'll show you my process. You think too, yeah, we folded things straight. Truth nuke. Actually, if you know any mobile app stick figure drawings, I don't have any other designs to work on. Ibis Paint is good for free, but it has ads. Deadass, you know what you can do, Loki? If you have Apple, take a screenshot and then use your finger to edit with like the markup tool, and you can just use that. That's cool. Like any fucking free app will do. Like a moomer pencil found. Hell yeah. Oh, here's my, oh, this is my watermark, by the way. This is my watermark. So basically, let me show you the process for designing, by the way. So you can see within this canvas, like what I like to add. At first she was cheesecake, right? So essentially, like this is like the kind of vibe I do whenever I'm like sketching. I do lots of really quick. This is like Clip Studio Paint doesn't do like the actual the actual stroke time, but you can see like how linear the shapes are. You can see that I'm just really trying to hammer out like, oh, what skirt shape do I like? Because I start with my favorite one, and you can see from the beginning I'm like, oh, I want maybe what if it's like more ice cream kind of feel, or like what if it's the marshmallow stuff. So I'm messing with it. I add the big thing, and I like I'm just designing very quickly and just kind of figuring out what shapes. I add a bonnet because I think it's cute, and I realized that I really like when Miku's like tails are really like twirly and shit. And also, this is me like tweaking out about an idea I had. I'm not gonna tell you though because I don't want you to steal it. And then this is actually an accident that I made. So I was like, oh, what if like her twin tails curl like way a lot? We ball tried out right now on Android. Oh fuck yeah. And so this is just me figuring out the shapes I really want for this Miku. And you can see I'm experimenting. I'm like, oh, what if we... This is just how like... This is dead ass how character design mostly will happen if you have nothing in mind. I just thought cheesecake, sweets, chocolate, whatever. Like it's just me putting stuff down, and I'm thinking like what shapes would look very good. I'm like, I always like big trails of fabric that goes like this. And for you, it might be, I really like puffy sleeves. I want to figure out how to incorporate that. For me, I'm like, I really like this big drape on the side of the shoulder, like Eden and Cure Sky. Those are two characters, and one of my friends and characters I really like. Like, I really like this aspect of this design. I want to figure out how to shoehorn this in so I can keep it in. And I'm like, oh, this kind of gives like regal. I'm going to add a bonnet. Wait, I don't know how to draw bonnets. And so I adjust accordingly. I add boots because I'm like, oh, boots would be cute. And I'm trying to figure out her vibe. I think I really wanted to make her really stupid. I'm being dead ass. I wanted a really stupid ditzy Miku. So we're having this idea, and I'm just pulling it out of my ass this way. Which if you're on the empty Miku design, she has two from Pro Sekai. I am not too keen on Sekai, only because sometimes they be tuning them a little weird. But I do like a lot of the designs they have in there. What the freak is her name? Miku. I need to get into like Pro Sekai though. I have people I know that are really into Miku. La 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 la. Let's see. I know she has two designs, and I know one of them, her hair is extremely like asymmetrical, which I think is interesting. I don't know if it's my favorite, but I think it's really interesting. Yeah, where your design? Where's your design? Anti Miku. Oh, I'm not. I hate Fandom Wiki. Look at images. Empty Miku. She has two, right? There's one where she kind of has like one sock, and there's a second one, right? I like the one where she has like a little bit of harnesses on her. I think she's cute. I like when they kind of mess with Miku like with her hair. The only thing is that I don't really like it when they make her more blue. I think she's cute. I think like it's a nice mix of like different genres. I do like that they're kind of more going for like an OG feel, and they incorporated more of the like actual nighttime stuff on her. I think that's cool. I like when Miku has a lot of asymmetry, because I feel like the main thing I have with Miku in terms of like flaws that I don't like is that one, I don't like it when they make her hair too thin. I was talking about this with friends a bit ago, but I kind of started agreeing because I'm like, yeah, I feel like Miku's big like thing, she needs her counterbalances, guys. She needs her counterbalances. But I feel like this is also good for like general characters. Characters with big hair, or like hair is the focal point. If it's your focal point, keep it symmetrical, or really go into that like asymmetry, right? I kept it symmetrical because I'm like, fuck, that is like some part that I really like, and I also want chocolate sauce within her hair. I wanted to keep it. So I was like, I'm gonna keep that symmetrical, and that's why I kept the big cape in there too. And you'll see that like everything's too symmetrical in terms of shape. I'm like experimenting like, oh, maybe I'll add like chocolate squares, and I'm messing with the cookie feel. And you can see like I'm like really hammering out what I want. I am a very big fan. I'm a very big fan of like nightgowns, so I incorporate that. Genuinely for me, designing like anything just has me like just experimenting. I add more drips because I'm like, I want more chocolate drips. I like the idea of her having chocolate drips. It's cool. I think when characters have weird like spindly shapes within their designs, it keeps the eye focused and it keeps you like really like stimulated, for lack of a better term. It keeps you very interested in what you're drawing. And so I'm like messing with it. I add a fluff trim and I add some like different stuff, and I keep her hair very big. And you can see I'm messing with how her hair is like being like, and you can see I'm like messing with her hoge and how her hair is. And I'm figuring out what I actually want instead of the bonnet. And I just decided on a hoge and stuff. And then this is me designing her sword. I wanted to keep that roll theme. And then for her colors, you can see that I'm just really placing stuff a lot awake. I kind of fuck with that. Anyway, you can see I'm really just messing around. I keep her teal. I personally, I don't like it when Miku's more blue. I don't really fuck with it. I feel like Miku will always be teal, but if it's teal, she's gonna lean towards green. I love it when her hair's way more green than blue. I think it's way better, IMO. I don't know why. I just feel like it's because Kaito's already blue, guys. Miku needs to be green. And so I'm adding like, I'm like making sure that my values aren't the same. So I'm just keeping like dark colors on the outside, maybe lighter colors on the inside, like here. And this is where I'm like, hey guys, what if I added pink to her design? And that's when I was like, wait, I'm cooking. I was like, wait, I'm cooking. And so now I'm incorporating pink as the accent color. And you can see I'm trying to keep it in her hair. Kaito mentioned real. And then I color balance. Basically, color balancing allows me to keep everything within the same family. I'm gonna try it out right now, hell yeah. But color balancing essentially is a function that lets you adjust your colors in tandem. So I color balanced it to make everything a lot more lean to red, magenta, and blue. So that's why my more warm chocolate colors turn to more of like a nice like gray, like purple, while still looking brown in relation to everything else. So that's, it's always important that if you're, for me personally, because I like my colors to be more harmonious, I like to make sure that they're all harmonized together. So it's like, oh, I'm going to use color balance and make them all lean a little bit more red. I'm going to make them all lean a little bit more blue. So that way they all look more together, you know, because brown is kind of tricky to do. I love the color brown. Brown is my favorite color. Hello, truther. Are you a truther, bro? Oh, truther or truth or dare, lol. Ah, lol. But yeah, brown is kind of tricky to work with when you're using other colors other than like yellow and red. So it's like, okay. And so color balancing allows me to still use brown no matter what. And then I add just some interesting patterns onto her, like more stripes. And I added more stripes here. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna go to sleep now. Bye. Bye bye. Thank you so much for stopping by, Mango. But yeah, and then this is just me like hammering out what I like. What I like. That's what I do. And this is from today. Yeah. That's Aishido's hashtag art dumping. I love art. I just love art. American scam. Welcome in. Thank you so much for becoming a mover. Take some of your tea before leaving. True, I need to drink some, bro. I need to absolutely devour some of that tea, man. Dude, I love drawing. And I feel like more people also need to love drawing. Mint Miku, I love Miku. Yo, what up? Thank you so much for becoming a moomer. Welcome in. I'm gonna drink water. Can you give me tips on drawing clothes? What kind of clothes you want to learn? Which kind of clothes you want to learn? Oh my god, I forgot I'm getting sick. My throat hurts like crazy. Hi guys, my name is Aishido, your local keeper fire and dairy cow. I giggle and have fun. What do I say? Oh, ad break incoming, by the way, lol. So you might get hit with evil ads. I'll answer this question and then I'll probably like for now, because if I get sick, I'll die. Not really. But it depends on my clothes. Dress or casual? Let's see. I can give you on how I style. I style stuff. Let's see. Whatever. Oh, it's a good way to think about this. I think there's multiple ways you can kind of like think about styling clothes, right? You have your casual, where it's like what this character feels like, what this character really gravitates towards, and you have stuff as in terms of artist, right? What I like and what I like to put people in. You can see a lot with my art style that I really like a lot of cute formal wear, a lot of J fashion, and kind of European like inspired clothing articles. So a lot of like baby doll waist, really Lolita theme in all honesty, very much Lolita, keeping it within that like kind of realm. I think like you just gotta reference like real clothing, genuinely doing studies of real clothing. I can show you stuff that I've done very routinely. Not routine, it used to be routinely and then I stopped because I got busy. But this, I can genuinely tell you that my art improved like almost tenfold. Dude. My art improved tenfold while doing this one hack. But I can show you what I mean by that. So what the frick is it? I started doing these not too long after I was like, I need to get better at drawing. Like once you realize you gotta improve, that's when your kind of brain starts like locking in, right? I'm not gonna say that these are rendered perfectly. However, this is very much like stretching your brain a bit. These are drawings I did like very quickly drawing when I wanted to learn how to draw clothing. Genuinely, if you like a specific style of clothing, stick with that style. I'm gonna tell you this right now. You can either be really mediocre at a lot of things, which is good if you want variety, but you can also, you can be mediocre at a lot of things and eventually improve on all of them over time, which is good. Or you can also learn one thing that you really, really like and improve on that very quickly and apply that knowledge elsewhere. I feel like I feel like they're both very valid ways to pursue how you like to draw clothing. Genuinely. They are both extremely valid and you can do both and you'll have similar results. However, if you're the type of person that gives up, I'm going to call myself out low-key. If you're the type of person that gives up on what you're doing because you're not seeing significant progress, you gotta stick to what you like specifically, because you cannot, your dopamine low-key being fucked. You really, for me, ADHD brain, right? My dopamine's fucked. So I have to ensure that I'm doing something that I can improve on quickly. That's why I draw really feminine clothing that's very loose. I love loose clothing. I love shorts clothing. It's really nice. So this is me experimenting with my shapes. I'm looking at references and I'm understanding, oh, what do I like about this? What do I like? Oh, what do I like? I love drawing this. And so I reference specific images and I'm being very loose. I'm being very loose with my lines. You can see here that this is not like standard to me, right? In fact, I'm using a completely different brush. I'm being extremely loose while I'm looking at my references. And what I'm looking at is I'm looking at how the clothing will fold and how the clothing is like just genuinely flowing. You don't have to capture every single wrinkle. That's not your goal when you're studying. You have to just get the flow. So you're just gonna be like, I like the way the shape is right here. I'm gonna draw kind of the outline of that. And then you can fill stuff in as you go. But you're not copying every single fold. You're copying the general vibe of the thing. So you're looking at the big shapes. Hi, I'm at 3%. I love the stream. Good night, catch you. Thank you, Toasted. Thank you. Yeah. Same thing with this one. You can kind of see that I just did a giant shape on here. Just a giant shape. And it's just a lot of big shapes and you're just making little shapes inside of it. That's like the best way I can tell you. So as you can see, I'm drawing a lot of casual outfits, including this one. I actually don't really like this one, but I was more experimenting with the hair in this one, but I'm damn, what the freak? But I'm learning more shapes at the what the freak? What the freak are y'all barking at? I got interrupted. They were barking at their own fucking reflection. Why are they barking at their own reflection? What the fuck? But I'm basically just looking at the shapes of the actual clothing and just kind of knitting that down. I'll be real, I don't think I like this one a lot because I wasn't understanding what I was looking at, but I think for these two it was a lot easier. These are pretty old, so I'm not gonna expect myself to really like hammer in what this is gonna be for. But I'm very happy with how they turned out regardless. Yeah, moomers. That's basically how I draw a lot of clothing.
But yeah. I feel like a lot of art is just looking at. I feel like a lot of improving art is just genuinely understanding what you're looking at and kind of figuring out where to go from there. Because when I feel like when people don't understand how to use references properly, and I've said this a lot on stream before, but when you don't know how to use references properly, you're basically just looking at a giant masterclass oil painting and you're just like putting shit down. Like you don't know what you're looking for. When you're looking and studying, you need to know what you're looking at specifically. You know, you need to know what you're looking for. I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go look at feet and try to understand hands, and it's kind of the same principle. If I'm gonna learn how to do folding, I'm gonna be like, what part of folds do I want to learn? Learn this different type of folds, right? Learn your general information, right? Like your diaper folds are like folds that go in between. Like it's like diaper folds are like these ones, I believe, where it's like there's 2 points and they fold like that. That's a diaper fold, I believe. And you learn those kinds of folds for your base level of knowledge. I know it can kind of feel like man, why am I here? I already know that the fold is when like 1 point is stretched. I already know that. But sometimes you really just gotta like sit down and relearn that, or not even relearn it, just like listen to it to get that fresh in your mind. And then you go, when you study, just like, oh, I'm gonna study how let's look at this specifically because I don't really like this art, so I'm gonna tell you what I want to improve on. I'm gonna focus on specifically how to freak like gathering works on sleeves. I want to learn how the fabric is like actually laid out on the sleeve and learning how the fabric interacts with itself on the sleeve like this, right? Because like a lot of people just draw like this shape on the edge and stuff. So I feel like that's like majority issues that artists face when they want to learn a new material is understanding in small bits on how stuff works. And you'll quickly notice, especially when it comes to learning stuff like folds and such, you'll quickly understand that a lot of it carries over. A lot of it carries over into other aspects, right? So the gathering of this sleeve right here is probably just the same kind of gathering you'd see on a skirt as well. And pleats and everything, it just builds up from itself. I'm very much clothing pilled when it comes to art. For lack of a better term, I'm very clothing pilled. So, when it comes to learning art, clothing in specific is something I really, really enjoy. I'm not too good at it, obviously, not from this, but like, I feel like clothing is something that I still need to get a grapple on because I like to draw in what I call like a shoujo anime style. I know ad break incoming has been a warning. I'm silencing it, okay? I'm silencing the fucking the thing, okay? I'm silencing the thing because I'm getting ready to raid lol. But like I know clothing is something that I'm very passionate about. And low-key movers, I want to do the we did this a while ago, but I was studying specific clothing on stream where we were together and I was copying the forms down, and that was honestly one of the most fun streams I've ever had. So honestly, let's do that next stream. We'll do that on Sunday. Let's do that on Sunday, guys. I want to do that on Sunday, and I can show you specifically how I can kind of study. I'll be real, a lot of art studies are intuitive, which means that you're going to be doing a lot of stuff in your head and kind of like just through muscle memory. So if you have questions while I'm doing that, I'll probably say this as well on the stream itself. But if you have any questions when I'm doing studying or drawing or anything, I low-key beg of you to ask me right then and there, and I will go back and I'll tell you. Don't worry about I feel like a damn professor, bro. My professors sound like, but like, you are here on my stream, one, because I like to make a dedicated space for you to do creative outlets and do whatever you want. When you're watching me, if you want to, right, you can always yap with me. But like, if you want, you are allowed to just do whatever the frick you want and lurk, because that's the whole point, guys. I should be co-working. But I just really want you guys to know that it's very important to me that you guys understand that if you have any art questions, you should definitely ask me. Like, please, especially when I'm live, mostly when I'm live, because that's what I'm like. That's like when I'm actually like getting into gear and I'm like, guys, that's what I do. And low key, when I be gaming, I kind of also make it about art where I'm like, guys, 1 point perspective. But yeah, oh my god, movers, I had a lot of fun today. I'll be real. Despite me barely getting animation done, like I set out to, in all honesty, art, education and stuff like that, education in quotes, I'd say art mentality, but low-key I am dipping into education now, is something I'm super passionate about, which is like, I feel like low-key the whole point of streaming. So like, but with that being said, I will see you guys on today's Friday, right? So Sunday, 8 p.m. EST. I stream on Tuesday,
Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. I'm also an animator on YouTube because I be animating too. I animate, and I also made my own model. Yeah, lol. But I will see you guys on Sunday, 8 p.m. EST. We can do some freaking drawing at that time, guys. It looks like who is live right now? Who are my oomphs? Who are my oomphs that are live at the moment? It looks like Rosie is live right now. They're making pic crews. Wait, that's so cool. I always wanted to make a pic crew. It's kind of hard to do those. So we're gonna raid out. I know my streams are not too long because I don't have as much stream stamina, and honestly I think I am getting quite sick, so hopefully I don't actually end up getting sick because that'd kind of suck. That would kind of suck, but it looks like Rosie is live at the moment, so you guys should 100% check them out. I'll raid. My raid message is 𝘵𝘤𝘤𝘪𝘢𝘭𝘴. My raid message is 𝘵𝘤𝘠𝘪𝘠. Catch me on the Moomer Discord. Also on the Moomer Discord, guys, we have a Minecraft server live. It's modded too, so I'll probably be on there probably tomorrow. Lol. If I'm not working. Lol. So yeah, Moomers. I hope you had a lot of fun today. I know I did, even though I was mostly just talking my ass off. But that's kind of, isn't that the whole point of streaming, is to talk your ass off? But I'll see you next time on Sunday, 8 p.m. EST. Bye bye. Enjoy the Discord, or I'll kill myself. Bye bye.